Welcome, I'm Dennis Brunssen. This is the Mr. Brunssen Show. In my last video, we spoke about our military tour over the Mediterranean circuit. And right now, I'm going to tell you about our tour. It was a longer tour, about 65 days actually. And starting off in Seoul, we left Phoenix, went to LA, and then flew on Korean Air from LA all the way to Seoul, Korea. And that was a long flight. It seemed like it was 14 hours over there. As soon as we get off the plane, get outside, start hacking. I mean, it's the worst air in the world over there. There's like 23 million people in the city. Unbelievable. Don't get lost. I mean, it'd be very easy. You know, everything, all the streets start looking the same at one point. We were going down, and quite a deal driving over there. We had a nice hotel up by Itaewon. That's a shopping district, and just a little bit from northern of there was our nice hotel. It's like a Marriott. It was actually a military resort for the troops. We did 53 dates in South Korea. Two of our dates, I say that one of the most important in my musical career, was at the DMZ. And the first one, we went up for have a one-hole golf course. We did their annual golf tournament party, and we got to go into the long building there. And I walked into North Korea, looked through the windows, and saw the guards looking at me. Had a fantastic gig that day. I think it was on a Saturday. And Monday, I got a call from the major, 2nd Army Division. He goes, if I can pull some strings, you guys want to come back up here? I mean, these guys are like talking all weekend about you guys, and they want you back. And this guy, George Bush, he calls him up. He goes, next thing you know, I get a phone call. He says, you guys are going back up to DMZ. I go, okay, well, we loved it, It's like, quite a drive up there, quite a drive back from the war. But we did the gig, and I mean, it was like, from the first song, those guys were absolutely crazy, screaming and yelling. And most of the military guys at that point, they like that old rock stuff, and we pulled some of those out, some Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. On the way back, we didn't know this later until we got back to the hotel, and one of the officers called us up, said, "You guys okay?" I said, "Well, yeah." Well, evidently, after you just crossed the bridge or around there, 3 defectors come over, and we shot and killed them, North Koreans. So we didn't know about it till we got back. So that was our North Korean gig. It was a lot. We did a lot of sightseeing. Like I said before, sometimes you do 1 show a day, somebody 2, 3, 4 shows a day. Depends on what the schedule is. We have to go out to the old Olympic Stadium. We went to Itaewon. That's a big shopping area up there. And I remember one building I went into, it was a high-rise shopping building. And I told the guys, I said, "These floors are shaking, man, walking around. Do you guys feel that?" I says, "Well, yeah, I guess." Well, a year or 2 later, come to find out that building had collapsed. It wasn't built properly, and it was shaking. And that was a really bad situation. The whole thing came down. So that's our deal in Korea. I said it was great. We played, basically every base that was up there in South Korea. Then we went to Yokota Air Base by Tokyo, and we did our tour over there. Went up to Misawa, Yokota, all the different little facilities there. Went up to Tokyo. One day we were flying a C-130 out to Marcus Island. Came back all on the same day. Like 20 guys out there, Marcus Island. 30 guys out Iwo Jima. Not too many bands can say they played on Iwo Jima. You flying around, coming in on a C-130, flying by Mount Suribachi, is, I can't tell you that feeling. You know, I got to sit up in the cockpit, coming back from Iwo Jima too, and it's like, you know, seeing Mount Fuji. There's a little bed in the C-130 right behind the pilot and co-pilot. I got to sit up there, and that was a great experience as well. And so then we did actually go to Mount Fuji the next day, but it was so cloudy we couldn't see the top of it. And so then we head off to, we're back down in Okinawa again. This is our second time back in Okinawa. And we played there for, I believe it was 2 weeks. No, this would be 3 weeks. So this was a long tour. We did, I don't know, like 10 facilities. Because, you know, we got Air Force, we got Navy, we got Marines. We got a little bit of everything over there in Okinawa. And we did a lot of touring over there, a lot of shows. And then after that, we're going to take a long trip. We flew from Naha, Okinawa, Japan Airlines. We flew into Hong Kong. Hong Kong, we went over Vietnam. We flew to Singapore at that point. That was a beautiful city. Singapore on down to, we went to Melbourne. Melbourne, over to Adelaide, Adelaide to Perth, Perth up to Exmouth. This is, we're going to be playing, seems to be around like July, 1st of July. Remember, we started in May. Now we're in July. And we're doing a base closing, excuse me, up there, celebration. You know, President, Vice President, Australia's coming up, big July 4th celebration. We were up there for 2 weeks, and there's nothing up there but a bunch of camels and beautiful coastline. And so I remember the day of the celebration, the ball, and we got to the gig early. The stuff was set up. We came back into the ballroom, and first is the ballroom that night, and the next day is the outside concert and whatever fireworks they had. And I remember walking into the ballroom, and this short guy comes up to me. He goes, he's dressed all up, you know, Navy guy. I thought he was like a worker there. He goes, "What do you want? What can I do for you?" I said, "Well, you know, we'll have, you guys want a Coke too? How about I get a Coke?" And this other guy next to me goes, "Hey, that's an Admiral, man." Next thing you know, the Admiral's playing a joke on me. He comes up with a tray and 4 Coca-Colas. And that was quite funny. But everybody laughed it off and had a great time, you know. And so the next day is the big fireworks. Then we fly down to back down to Perth, and back over to a place, an Air Force facility called Woomera. Woomera, it's a space shuttle tracking station. Over there, that's an Air Force facility. We're there for a week with nothing to do because there's nothing in Woomera. Saw a bunch of kangaroos running around, and that's about it, really. And then back down to Adelaide back over to Sydney. And in Sydney, you got to go to the Opera House and see all those great sights over there. And our plane broke down. We were supposed to leave Sydney, so we got delayed out of there. And then we're on our way to Guam. Now we're getting towards the end of the tour at this point. We're, I think we're a week Anderson Air Force Base in Guam, and played Tarogi Beach, had a little spot down by the beach, the Air Force Base over there, where guys go down and relax, have some picnics and stuff like that. And most beautiful water you ever want to see is in Guam, and that was a great facility. We had been over there a couple times to Guam, and great place. Guam, we are heading back to LA. Well, stop in Hawaii, long flight. Anyway, we're heading back, and then and we're back in Phoenix. And then on our next video, we're going to be talking about our Northern European tour.